Alright, so I guess we can go.
Yeah, if you want to count us down, we can
Yeah.
get this thing going.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so this is our very first level, Anthill. Nothing super exciting.
As you will see, we are playing on two very different games. The first notice is the textures between the two. I have rocks.
I don't. You can also notice the lagginess of the N64 version. It's fantastical. So yeah, Anthill is just a super quick level, and then you just go right into tunnels afterwards.
Yeah, so basically this game is based on A Bug's Life, the movie, in case anyone has seen that. And it basically follows the same storyline, kind of just going through the levels, fighting the grasshoppers, and just being Flick and running around. One thing you will notice, since we are taking audio from my stream, is that Flick has the best voice lines. So you will hear "oh yeah" a lot and "nice one" anytime I kill anything, so that's fun.
You may also hear grain, 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 and superberry, or I need super yump.
He has the best voice lines in the game, honestly, or in any game. You will notice in this level as well, we use the walls quite frequently just to kind of hug the wall to move a little quicker and also get a bit of a boost off the wall from sliding.
Yep.
So you should be using the seats casually, but you're able to use the walls instead, which is a lot faster.
Yep.
So you can just jump over gaps like this, no problem.
And yeah, basically these first couple levels there's nothing like super different about the versions, but we will get into those as some of the later levels come up.
Yeah, you definitely will see the differences between the two games in a while. So for each boss, you need to get a super berry. So you'll see both of us grabbing the super berry above the whirlwind plant, and then we'll just fight the boss. So this is the first boss. His name is Thumper. I think his name is Thumper.
Yeah,
and it's pretty straightforward.
His will haunt your nightmares.
You just get the super berry and kill the boss.
Yeah, Traveler's Tale has a way of putting a lot of effort into their bosses, believe me.
So you would have noticed then I left the level before you actually got the cutscene. So as soon as we kill the boss, we actually exit level just to ensure that the cutscene doesn't show up, so it saves a few seconds there.
Yep.
This next level can be a bit of a hassle. You're just grabbing the dandelion and flying across this massive river. If either of us were to fall, which hopefully we don't, we will get eaten by the bird.
Yikes.
Scary times. The following level is the one that you're going to see the most differences between the two versions.
Yep.
Playing it a little safe and going to the right to ensure that I don't get eaten by the bird.
Can't tell you how many times I've actually done that. It makes me feel so bad about myself. It's just like, oh, this level shouldn't be hard.
So you have to make it past the thorn plant in that level, and you can land right next to it and still get eaten.
Yep.
So this is Riverbed. So Riverbed is a interesting level. We definitely have used the walls a fair amount in different ways. So the first jump we do the same, and then it's all different from there.
Yeah, oops, I accidentally just grabbed the telescope. That's fun.
So you will notice one thing I do is I'm grabbing coins. So I need 2 coins in order to get a green leaf to help me with this level. So the first jump's just kind of a wall glide. I got it.
And I'm gonna be coming up to where I'm gonna pick up a seed up at this wall. And I'm gonna position it in like this crack here. And hopefully I can get the trick and get some like weird boost from the wall.
And I'm using coins and seeds because PlayStation is kind of lame.
At least it runs smoothly.
That's true. Both
So yeah,
games have their advantages and disadvantages.
and I'm gonna be doing that same thing here.
So I just got my second point, so now I'm just going to go through the level with the 2 points. Usually you would need the 4, but we found ways over the walls.
Yep. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think N64 has quite a few more wall jumps than what PlayStation has.
Yes, that's correct. So you're abusing all the cracks, whereas I can use the coins. So the placement of that last leaf was what allowed me to get that jump. The last jump that I think we both are probably coming up on right now is going to be super free for him, and then I'm going to struggle with it. So there's two ways.
Go ahead.
There's 2 ways to do this jump. You can do it just the mushroom, or you can use the leaf. And I'm basically just trying to get over this cliff.
So yeah, now I might be a little bit ahead. I'm on Bird Nest. This is another very simple boss. Like, it's just grab super berry, throw berries at boss, defeat boss.
So as you can see, that took me some time, but I got it. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and we're just gonna do the exit level again on Bird Nest as well. Just to skip cutscenes. Then after Bird's Nest, there's going to be a little slight differences in city entrance. On N64, the grain placements are different than PlayStation. So you notice that we're going to be running to different places to get the grain necessary to progress in the level.
There's also a couple wall jumps in the N64 version that we don't do in the PlayStation version in city entrance.
Yep. And you'll definitely know when those come up, because I'm just going to be like running up walls, basically.
Yeah. Another thing you have noticed me doing, at least, is I always have to mash to the right to avoid clicking yes to saving, and then you have to mash B, I believe. So
yep.
Saving wastes a lot of time, so we want to avoid that.
Alright, so I'm going to be coming up to my first wall jump to get my 9th grain. Because this first door we need 10 grain to progress through, and then the next one we'll need 20. And that's all we're going to need.
So we're just picking up grain here.
Those grains.
There are actually a 30 grain door as well, but you will see us kind of avoid that grain door, which we will explain when we get to it.
Also, I guess one small thing to note with the spiders, you can butt bomb them to have them drop a grain, but if you do it incorrectly, the grains actually disappear and you can't pick them up, unfortunately.
Yeah, so there are only 2 levels in this whole game that grain actually matter for any percent, and it's this level and then also Riverbed Flight, which we'll get to later. The grain gives you a little speed boost.
Yep.
So the second last level in the game.
Alright, so I'm getting close to 30 grain door. I'm going to do some wall jumps here, hopefully. Get up this box. There we go. And then you can just butt bomb over top of the 30 grain door. And you have to run into one of these characters. Exit level again.
And I will be doing the same, except not climbing the side of the wall, but I will be jumping over the 30 grain door as well. This jump is kind of precise. Once you start getting it down, it's pretty easy, but if you're too close to the left, you won't get over. If you hit the door in the wrong spot, you won't get over. Timing is very precise. And as you see, I just didn't get over because I was too far to the left.
This I can use.
So yeah, now I'm in City Square right now. This is another one that the route is going to be different. On N64, you're going to be seeing I'm doing these butt bombs. That's because I'm holding the cutscene in a storage. And as long as I keep butt bombing... oh, I failed it there. I'm getting up to tuck and roll, which is the hardest. But I can talk to each one of the characters and then just exit the level.
I don't know why I'm not getting over this door.
Uh-oh.
I'm frustrated. We'll get it. It's
Oh, I
either you
got
kill
hit
it a
by the
bunch
fly
or
and
you
lost
get
my
it.
sword.
There's no in between, ever.
Yep.
At this point, it would be quicker just to collect the grain, but I'm determined. I also just keep falling. And I know I can do this trick, which is why I'm not going to collect the grain. Because honestly, I don't know where the grain are. But I don't know why I'm not getting over the door, so I might be collecting grain in a second.
So yeah, Bugbar is the next boss fight. Oh, I didn't get the goldberry, bummer. Oh, that's 2 fails in a row.
So the goldberry is the next hard trick in this game after the door, I would say, or you have to dance.
Yeah.
The goldberry, so usually you would run to the opposite side of Bugbar and grab the blueberry, but we can abuse the wall and the turning of the can to get the goldberry.
Yep, it's slightly faster, and if you don't get a super berry thrown at you, you get a cool medal at the end, which unfortunately I'm not going to get.
So one thing you'll notice in difference here, I won't be butt bouncing away, I'll actually get the cutscene and then pause to skip the voice lines. So you can pause as soon as you hear it. If you are good, you can also pause before they start. I often try that and miss it, but sometimes I get it, and it's nice to get that move.
Alright, Clover Forest. Oh man, what can I say about this level? It's the worst sometimes. Clover Forest, we're going to be introducing like a brand new, I guess, plant, which is the cannon flower. We're gonna abuse that in this level a bit towards the end, which will be nice. I'm also going to be doing that same like butt bomb storage to get like a little Manny cutscene skip here, if I can. This Manny is super skinny. Alright, so now I can move around. Normally I'm going to be staying in place, and I can move the moth around.
Yeah, so I'm entering Bugbar now, so I'm going to have the same goldberry issue, most likely, but we'll see if I can get it.
Alright, and there's... Oh yeah, I guess I should explain. In Clover Forest, we have to grab the 5 pieces for the big bird thing, whatever they call it, to try to scare Hopper.
The one thing with this level is these moving objects can hurt you, but if you kind of get with the cycles, you can usually avoid them pretty easily.
Mm-hmm. Now we get to use my favorite dandelion flower again. Love it. Get this last little coin so I can unlock the cannon flower. The cannon flower can be a bit tricky to get into. It just takes a little bit of practice, but...
So Manny skipping Clover Forest for me is a little different, so I have to hit him at the top of my jump. I can't just butt bounce away, so if I don't get him, which is fairly frequent that you won't get him, you just have to watch the cutscene, but you can do the same thing where you pause to skip his voice lines. So pausing only works for voice lines that have an animation attached to them, so when he's pushing the butterfly into the takeout box, it won't work. So I didn't get it.
Oops. Need to scroll to the tree, not go backwards. So yeah, on the last bird piece that I collected, I used the cannon flower to get to it. Normally you're supposed to talk to the ladybug and the stick bug and they'll like knock it down for you. But that involves a cutscene to be played, and cutscenes are slow, so we just skip it with the cannon flower.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure my route here is exact same as Thermals. So I'm just getting the points to get the cannon shooter, then to get on top of the cliff, and same with the last bird piece.
Yep.
And abusing the walls.
So, yeah, I'm on the tree level right now. This is a level that can be pretty sketchy at times. Obviously, if you fall out of the tree, that's a big bummer. Also, I feel like on N64, the momentum is super jank. So when you try to use like the webs or the vines, it's just super weird.
Flick is a slippery boy in both versions, but the leg on the N64 definitely adds to that slip.
Yeah. See, I don't think on either of the versions there's any like skip for dim
No.
on tree. It's just you have to watch the cutscene.
Yeah, so the thing with dim is, you aren't able to skip him, but recently it was discovered. So we used to think that if you touched the blueberry and then fell off the tree, you wouldn't actually fall. We did discover that you can fall during that cutscene. I did it on a PvP run, it was kind of sad. So since we discovered that, people have been looking into more whether or not you can skip dim, but because there's an animation attached to this cutscene, it makes it a little more difficult. It would just be a matter of gaining control during the cutscene for PlayStation. But then we're doing stuff blindly on a tree, which is kind of risky.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to just grab the vine for the last blueberry. And then Dot, I think her name's Dot. She flies around. Yeah, she flies around our little bird that we built. She can be a little bit of a stinker. Like she just flies around. You have to run into her to be able to complete the level. Kind of a funky way to have to end a level, but hey.
Thanks, Rosie.
Yeah, bonking on Dot and then quitting level is usually how it goes. And she's definitely hard to reach.
Okay, so Battle Arena, can we all agree that as much as the ants are trying to help, they are the worst?
Yeah, the ants in Battle Arena are absolutely terrible.
So yeah, what we want to do is get a super berry again, but the ants in the crowd are throwing regular berries at us, and we can only hurt Molt, who is the boss, with super berries. So we're gonna basically position ourselves, if I can get there, under this leaf. Oh my goodness, God help me. Like this, finally. And it basically protects us from the red berries so they don't screw us over, essentially.
Yeah, you have to be in a very certain position under the leaf to make sure you don't get hit. And sometimes Molt can end up on top of the leaf, and then you have a whole other situation happening.
Yeah.
I'm about to exit the tree, so we'll see if Dot is next to me.
Yeah, I think you could see right at the end of the level, like one of the red berries was at the top of the leaf thing, which probably would have landed on me, but thankfully I was protected.
So I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to use just one mushroom to get the purple coin, which will give me the super berry, and hope that I don't get any red berries on the way. Fun fact, my submission for this
different about the ants in the crowd.
My submission for this had me getting the red berry like 3 times, and I was super frustrated with it because every time I would change it, it would just go back. Because it'd be like that sometimes.
It does. I've been on PB pace before, and it's just like, hey, have a nice red berry. And I'm like, no, it's not nice at all.
So the thing with this boss, if you mash, he just gets pushed away and doesn't get damaged. So we have to wait until the animation ends in order to hit him, which can be quite annoying. It definitely slows down blocking.
So yeah, I'm in Anthill Part 2. We're gonna be growing a berry shooter to basically beat Hopper. I don't even know what the intended way to beat Hopper is in this level.
There's a berry shooter that shoots straight up, and that's how you would usually do it. So we actually only need the 1 coin, and by adjusting the camera, we can see him and shoot him. It is kind of wonky though, and sometimes like you get bad RNG and it just messes you up. I'm also just entering this level, and tuck and roll at the beginning of this level, which is the caterpillars, can sometimes be hard. They jump when you jump. So if you kind of don't wait for them to be together and in the good position, you won't get up.
Yeah, and then at the end of the level, we have to talk to Princess Ada to exit the level, and it takes 9 berry hits to defeat Hopper. And then now I get to enter everyone's favorite level, Riverbed Flight.
So you will see 2 major differences between the 2 games. So N64 definitely has the advantage in the first Riverbed. The second Riverbed, PlayStation definitely has the advantage.
Yeah, draw distance on the N64 is god awful. It's hard to see enemies. And basically, if you die in this level, you have to start the level over, and all the grains you've collected will no longer be there. So yeah,
You're
dying
better
in
off
this,
exiting.
yeah, dying in this level is awful. You don't just spawn where you died, unfortunately.
So it's always 9 hits, which is why you hear me counting.
Termites.
Yep.
You little termite.
Oh, okay. I thought I was gonna get that invincibility, but
And now I'm entering the same level, but you are thermals in, so I'm just going to do it, and you'll see the draw difference. It's still a challenging level, but it's definitely a lot easier on PlayStation.
yep, for sure.
The goal is to get the grain and not get hit. So you kind of float up when you hit A. So you can use that to your advantage, but that slows you down a lot. So using the grain speeds you up, which is why we want to do it.
Can run, but you
Yeah,
can't.
flying is very useful for like getting over objects. Like you can see like shells and rocks and feathers, and you will just bounce off of those.
All the textures on the ground in this level are objects that you can hit. And
Yep.
you lose all your momentum because of them, and Hopper's right behind us, so losing momentum is not what you want.
Yep. Okay, I got through riverbed flight. Thank
Nice.
goodness. And so Canyon Showdown, I actually really like this boss. I feel like it puts together everything you've learned in the game in a sense. And like in just one boss fight. So
This is the final level, just so everyone's aware.
Superberry.
So there are 3 phases to Canyon Showdown. The first one's getting the super berry, so I got a riverbed coin, which is nice.
awesome. Let's go. I think that's what we were both worried about is someone ending up dying in riverbed flight.
Yes.
So yeah, I think the second part, which I'm getting to in the final boss fight, is probably the hardest part because Hopper's going to be moving around every time we hit him, but where he ends up is always the same, so we know where he's going to go. So we just got to follow him there.
And like we've said before, Flick is a slippery boy, and you really notice it in this level. You just slide off the ledges all the time. It's quite difficult to control him.
Yeah. And also, like, the lag on N64 really plays into this level.
Yeah.
Like, you can see by, like, the rain texture, it's just bad.
I have no idea why the rain looks so terrible on N64, but it does.
Because N64, that's why. And then, yeah, you can see we can still hit Hopper on his way to, like, the next phases, but it actually doesn't do damage.
Yeah, you just want 1 hit per phase to ensure that you don't get knocked off. Or to ensure that you don't get knocked off, which I said as I was getting knocked off.
Oh, no.
And also to make sure that he doesn't slow down, because the more you hit him, the more he slows down. 1 per phase. But getting knocked off there is not a big deal. You just kind of move over and hit him from the ground.
Alright, so time obviously ends when we defeat Hopper, which I'm going to be coming up to relatively soon. You can see the red bars at the top. And time.
And I'm just entering the last phase, so I should be there soon. These stairs are quite difficult. Like, definitely does not have to jump quite all the time, so you kind of have to go at them at a certain angle.
Yep. Oh, I actually rainbowed Canyon Showdown by like half of a second. That's pretty nice, but yeah.
So my time will come up soon. And I died.
Oh.
Which is fine. Dying here is quite common. Last hit time. So yeah, that's A Bug's Life. I guess thank you Plywood for the great tutorial. I never would have gotten to this game if it wasn't for him and his phenomenal tutorial.
Yeah. I actually learned from Plywood's tutorial, but I had to get into the wonderful Discord that you can join as well and ask questions, and they were super helpful and helped me out and learn some of the N64 specific things. So
Yes.
yeah.
Definitely join the Bug Club if you're interested in this game at all. It's a great group. And the Bug Club's now the name of the Discord, which is why I say that. You can get the link to that on SRC.
Yep.
Thanks everyone.
Yep. Thank you for having us.